I've been all up in my own head this week.
I love it when you start a conversation like this. Hello everyone, welcome to The Deep Drop. This is a fishing podcast with me, Luke McCredden, hello, and my good friend Adam Ring. Ads, we're back. We sort of feel like we've been rolling for a while now in 2025, but we're only a few episodes in. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I can't believe January is just about over as we record this. We're right on the cusp of February. What the hell happened there?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a thing of getting older.
Maybe, but you know what it means? It means we've got a new month resolution coming up.
Oh, we do?
Yes. So that'll be probably next week. So I hope you've been thinking about that. Yeah, good.
I've been thinking about a lot of things actually, but it's all
right. Good.
No, I've got one. I've got one.
Good. Oh, that's great. Welcome everyone. Good to be back. Good to have you back. Thank you everyone for tuning in for another episode of what is fishing chat mixed with a bit of madness, mixed with a bit of what the fuck are these guys talking about, mixed with a bit of, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. Is that kind of it, Ads? Or have you got something better for us?
No. I think you're pretty well spot on. If you're the type of personality that suffers from OCD, we're probably not the podcast for you, because the Deep Drop is, listen, it's a thinking man's podcast, or woman, or whatever. It's a thinking person's podcast based around fishing. We're going to ask a shit stack of questions. We're going to give our thoughts. We're then going to change our minds on those thoughts, but it's still kind of going to make sense.
Yes.
Then we'll probably lose you for a little bit, but then at the end, we'll bring it right back and you go, I see what's happening here. I need to think about that.
Yeah, I need to take that away and spend some time thinking about it. Yes, all right, very good. That's pretty much it, actually. So there's 116 episodes that you can go back and listen to if you're new. Please do. It won't take that long. Decent road trip, and you'll rip through them.
You'll get through them.
And but if you've been along for the journey from episode 1 or thereabouts, thank you very much. It's been an absolute blast. And I know there are plenty of you that have been around since day dot, because we regularly hear from you on socials, and that's not a bad segue, Ads, because we love keeping in touch with everyone out there listening. Social media can be a bit of a bastard sometimes, but geez, it's handy to connect and keep in touch, and obviously get the feedback that we so desperately need here on the Deep Drop from people in the know. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, now Ads. You could see our silly faces doing silly things, but also asking the questions that come up on the show. So
ask the questions. There's so many questions.
We ask the questions, we get questions back, and that is exactly what it's all about.
Correct. We are all for answering a question with a question. Now, I know that tries to get taught out of a lot of people. You know what? Answer a question with a question. It's legal on this podcast.
Answer a question with a question, but also don't feel like you can't answer a question by saying, I've got no fucking idea. Because that's something else that we do.
Happy to say it. Happy to.
There's something nice about that. Because,
refreshing.
Yeah.
We don't know everything.
We don't know everything. We've been around the traps. Adam, you and I have been in the industry for a long time combined, when you think about it like that, through various sort of, avenues of retail, wholesale, tackle production, media.
I think I'm coming up
bit of a fisheries
20 years shortly.
Oh, yeah.
Next, it'd be pretty close, I reckon. Oof. Not quite, but pretty close.
Yeah. I caught up.
You're just as long.
Yeah, probably maybe. I caught up with the team at Shimano during the week, Ads, and we had a quick chat and saw Cole Tannehill, who, speaking of time in the industry, I think we were talking, and it was somewhere around 46 years.
Yeah, it's a great effort. That's solid. Got a long way to go to get there.
And that guy alone is just, he's seen it all in this industry.
Seen it all. Yep.
Done a fair chunk too, so it was good to catch up with Cole and the team. But so we've seen some stuff. We talk about plenty of that, but we certainly don't claim to know it all, Ads. And in fact, that is why fishing is so good, because no one really knows it all.
Well, that's why we ask so many bloody questions, because we're trying to work it out.
Yeah. So Instagram is the best way to get in touch with us by far. Shoot us a DM, hit us up, whatever's on your mind. Don't feel like there's no boundary. But you can also follow on TikTok and, of course, YouTube as well. And website, thedeepdrop.au ads is where you can go and check out all the episodes and information about the episodes, but also a little bit of merch going on over there, ads.
A little bit of merch going on. The combo that we've spoken about the last few weeks, maybe the greatest combo on the internet, just throwing it out there.
It could be.
So you can go and grab yourself a stubby holder and a cap. Of course, that's the combo we're talking about. So get in there and enjoy the still warm summer that we've got ahead of us, because I think the hat and stubby holder are going to be relevant for another few months yet.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, the bias side of me says all year, but let's be real. The cap will come off at some stage during the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, get in there and check it out. You know what, ads? We'll cover the freight. We'll cover the shipping.
Not?
Yeah, we'll cover the shipping.
Just the type of guys we are.
Yeah, I know. The deepdrop.au is the website to go and check out. And please, while you're online and searching around, jump onto Spotify, give it a follow, and share it around with your mates. It's pretty darn simple. Now, ads, the Deep Drop is a little bit of a tradition that's started now, and we kick off the show, and most of our studio sessions are in the PM.
Yep, correct.
So we tend to crack a beer. Or a drink of some description, actually. I jumped to beer, but, the last couple of weeks I don't even think I've had a beer. So I want to throw to you, my friend, what's your drink of choice this week?
It's a drink that I delved into and shared on the pod a couple of weeks ago, but I'm back on the Slipstream Brewery's lager, which is painted beautifully in the Rapala colours.
Yeah.
And it's sitting... Well, it's not even the Rapala colours. This is a limited edition gold can, which we haven't seen
I was going to say,
a few years.
It looks like it won. If you pulled that out of a pack of collectible cards, you'd be going,
Yeah, that's right. That's the one that
nailed
you put away in the case. So there's a look at the Slipstream lager there.
Well, I'm going to get you to get a photo of that. We'll chuck that up on the socials during the week because it's a beautiful looking can. And it's not often you see a fishing brand on a tin. No,
and we've done this the last couple of years. So I've definitely got the last two. I might even have all three. I'll flick a photo through and you can see them. But
Do it.
But of course, it wouldn't be the best lager that I've ever had.
Yeah.
If it wasn't in the bright green stubby holder.
Of course, absolutely.
So that's what I'm drinking, and cheers to you, my friend.
Yeah, cheers, absolutely. Well, before I get to mine, a shout out to people on Instagram just today that have reached out with a few drink suggestions. Now,
big time!
I'm going to keep them in the back pocket and tick through those over the next few weeks because
I love this.
Yeah, some of them are nice. But I did get a suggestion, and I happen to have it in my fridge because I'm a bit of a fan of. Or see if you know what it is just by the sound, Adam. Any guesses? It's a can.
It's a can.
It's the old CC and Dry.
Oh,
Canadian
I'm so glad you said dry because I feel as though it's the only option when it comes to CC.
Yep.
It's got to be a CC and dry.
It's got to be dry.
It's just the one.
It's got to be dry. You can make arguments for the rest, but not interested.
Yeah, and listen, don't hate them. But it's not a CC and dry.
It's not a CC and dry. Hang on, I'm just see what it's in.
That.
See what it's in.
Never in a million years would I pick that you would have a CC and dry sitting in your bright green stubby holder this evening. That's a good get. I like it.
Okay, I am partial to one, and
I like it.
Sets up the scene. Now, we've got plenty to get into tonight, ads, so I don't want to stuff around any longer. But before we do, there is something that I wanted to share with you. As you know, management have sort of stepped in from time to time. Haven't heard from him for a couple of weeks, but management was suggesting...
It's been a great couple of weeks.
But you've enjoyed it. I won't... Look, I came into the studio early to do some stuff, get prepped, as I do. You know that about me.
I know.
Management was here in studio. What I didn't realise was that the someone had hit record, so it kind of captured this conversation I had.
Sounds like entrapment to me.
Well, I just thought if it's cool with you, we might as well just play it because it turned weird pretty quick, and I got out of there pretty quick. You'll probably
right, here we go.
Yeah, so let's just get in. All right. Oh, g'day, mate. I didn't realise you'd be in here. What are you up to?
Yeah, mate. Oh, it's good to see you. Look, I'm just doing a bit of work actually. Not going to lie to you, I've been thinking about this co-host role.
You mean
co-host? And how you it's about time you put a co-host into the.
Mate, we've spoken about this. We've got two hosts of the Deep Drop.
Oh yeah, that's right. Anyway, I've been upskilling my game a little bit and thought maybe I can pitch to you
Pitch to me.
myself as becoming the second host of the Deep Drop.
I don't know how to make this any more clearer. We don't need another host of the Deep Drop. We've got myself and Adam Ring. We are the two hosts of the Deep Drop.
Well, just go with me here, and you might think that, but I've been working pretty hard. Okay, for example, I've been working on some hotkeys. Yeah, some sound effects that you could add into the show to give it a bit more zing, you know?
Yeah, with all due respect, I just don't think it needs more zing, let alone another co-host.
Well, you might think that, but can anyone on the show currently do this? Or this? And what about this little zinger? What about that?
I mean, it's not even relevant. I mean, I don't know what you're trying to do here. Like I said, we're okay. We've got the two of us hosting, and if we need little sounds or clips or grabs, we've got that covered. I appreciate your effort here, but I think we're okay.
So you don't need me?
No, that's what we're saying.
Or my sounds?
No, we don't need the sounds either, but thank you.
Well, that's a bit fucking awkward, isn't it?
Well, I mean, we're pretty clear.
Guess you don't need the big neon sign that I had created as well.
Jesus, I hadn't even seen that.
Yeah, just be careful. I haven't put it up.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I haven't...
Shit, sorry, I didn't realise you hadn't...
And just watch the new lights as well. Oh, no, I haven't installed them properly.
Fuck, I am so sorry. I didn't realise any of this was in here. When did you come in and do all this? It seems very extravagant. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Don't worry about it. Just watch your step on the way out. I also organise a heap of cans of beer there for us to have during the show. Oh, don't at the moment. Oh,
Jesus, I didn't even see them here.
Look, don't worry about it. You head out. I'll clean up here. But do us a favour. Just be careful. Don't knock that big vase up there. It's got my grandmother's ashes in it.
Whereabouts over? Oh, shit. Shit.
Fuck.
Oh, fuck it. Tell you what, I'm going to head out. So I guess, needless to say, I haven't heard from management since. Shit went pretty weird in there. So I just thought I'd play it on the show just to fill you in as to why there was such a mess in the studio.
It got weird quick.
Got weird quick. Yeah.
But I've got a take that I think you'll be a little bit surprised in.
Okay.
So two things. Clearly half job management because all that new shit wasn't put up.
It wasn't at all.
No. So there's that.
Yeah.
But the take, I think that you'll be a little bit unsure. Let me just put it out there. Let him hop in for a segment.
Wow, I didn't expect that from you, Adam Ring.
Yep. Not me. I'll sit it out.
Right. Oh, so you're actually saying give him a go in the hot seat.
I am so confident that he will fuck it up that bad.
Yeah.
That he can listen to it back with none of the shit sound effects.
Yeah.
He can listen to it
we
back.
We don't need the hotkeys.
No. But he can listen to it and go, yeah, I might need to work on that.
You think? Yeah.
That's how confident I am. Now, there's quite a few judges out there. I think we should run it for a segment in a future show.
Yep.
And put it out to the people.
Okay. All right. Well, so, potentially next
us a
week
vote.
or in the next couple of weeks, we'll bring him in. You'll step out just for a segment?
I'll step out for a segment.
On it. So in real time. Okay.
Yep.
And, I'm up for it. I'm surprised. I must admit that you're open to this. But I think it's a good call. I think it's one of those ones where, he'll soon realise that, I'm not cut out for this, so let's get Adam back in.
If there's one way I'm going to get him to understand that I exist, it might be giving him a bath in the hosting duties.
Yeah. Okay, good. It's like the bloke on the basketball team who talks so much trash about how good he is, and you go, okay, one-on-one, let's go. And then he sits down after 10 minutes going, I'm not, I'm shit.
So give him a segment and give him notice. Let him prepare.
Okay.
Give him notice.
Oh, so, okay, full prep, everything. Okay.
Yep. Let him go. Give him the topics. Don't care. He can choose the topic.
You're that confident he's going to be shit?
I'm that confident. Mm-hmm.
You're that confident that your job's safe?
Yep.
Beautiful. All right, let's do it. Okay, so hang around. Let us know what you think about management. Over the next couple of weeks, you'll hear him drop into studio for a segment.
A segment.
Okay.
Run it.
Now, Speaking of segments, sort of, I've got a bit of a question for you tonight, Ads, and the listeners. And it's kind of timely because we've come off the back now of, well, a long weekend, and then before that, obviously, the Christmas peak holidays. And it's still, it's obviously crazy busy, people everywhere. And when it comes to our waterways, there's boats everywhere, jet skis everywhere. We've spoken about jet skis. I'm not going to take the piss. But, people, just, lots and lots of people. And that's cool. And that's what summer holidays are all about. But we kind of talk about the fact that the fishing can be tough and it makes it hard during that time. But seemingly, it's an observation just over the last, few, or probably week and a bit, fishing switches back on real quick. And I guess the question, it was probably a discussion point more, but the question I've got is what actually does happen during that time where there is a lot of boat traffic? Now, it doesn't have to be Christmas holidays or anything. It's just general times where the boat traffic is just hectic. So it just might be a beautiful weekend and there's 700 boats on Port Phillip Bay. It clearly makes the fishing tougher. But what is going on? Are we completely shutting down, or are we shutting down a bite, or are the fish going somewhere? Like, is there any science to what it is that we're shutting down, and how quickly it turns back on is kind of phenomenal. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's a bloody good question. And if we had a legitimate answer, then we'd all be 100 times better fishermen because we'd know where to go and when to be. But it's interesting you ask it because I was watching something only this afternoon while I was having dinner before recording the podcast. I watched the most recent YouTube video that Lee Rayner had put up about that they were targeting big flathead in really shallow water, and he was up in, I think it was mid-coast New South Wales. Yes, Port Macquarie.
Yeah. And
they were fishing in winter. And the reason for fishing in those cooler months was they were fishing water that was that shallow, there was no boat traffic. And
yes.
And the guide that he was with at the time, he was adamant. It makes a huge difference. It has to make a difference.
Yeah.
Think of it logically. I mean, now, I must put an asterisk on it. How much difference does 700 boats in 17 metres of water, how much does that affect any snapper that are sitting on the bottom? Don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Don't know.
But everything in the shallows that is a huge part of our, I guess, holiday season fishery, calamari, King George whiting, flathead.
Yeah, bream in the estuaries.
That has to make a difference. It just has to. But I don't think they go elsewhere. I just think they get
just bunker down.
I think they get very flighty, as in I think they will spread out a lot more. And I think they just pick their times on where they're going to eat. Because it's not like you can't catch anything. It's just the fishing's really tough.
Yeah, exactly. That's what So it's not... You're right. It's not as if they're just not there at all. But, geez, it's hard to get a bite sometimes. And I... you and I saw it. We caught up over summer and had a quick squid session one morning, and it was just too tough for the area that we're in because it is just such a reliable spot. But you look around you and you're surrounded, and you go, this has to be doing something to the calamari. Yeah. But again, as you say, shallow water species, flathead, bream, whiting, squid, whatever, it has to be impacted. I'm just curious. I find it really fascinating that you could it's almost like there's a switch that goes off where they go, all right, they fucked off. Let's go. Let's get back out there.
Well, it's weird. Okay, so what about this as a counter? So what actually happens? Because say we had limited boat traffic and it was still the height of our summer. So the water temperatures are the warmest that they get to. Do you think that still slows down the fishing? Because water temperatures are probably not at their peak. It's just hot.
I don't know. It's hard to answer because the traffic thing is still overpowered.
That's right. But do you think with no traffic, the fishing would still it wouldn't be as tough as what it is with the traffic? That's not what I'm saying at all. But would we still see that maybe late December through January, would we see that overall fishing a little bit quieter than, say,
Maybe. Yeah.
pre-summer into late summer because of how warm everything is?
Especially because we're talking about the shallows right now in this instance. So, yeah, it kind of makes sense because it warms right up, like really does. Yeah, it's a good call. I think the...
But the boat traffic thing, I think that just makes perfect sense. Of course it's tough. It has to. There's just so much activity.
Yeah. But then, yeah, so we've spoken about shallow water. So the idea of, let's call it 10 plus meters shutting down or certainly getting tougher as well on that same scenario, is that still relevant? I mean, you think about whether it's snapper or, I don't know, kingfish, we've experienced times where...
Well, the pelagic species are
a kingfish thing gets tougher when there's 500 boats cruising around a headland or a... You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's instances, not so much where we are in Vic, but there is instances around the country where the more kingfish being caught, the better the bite. It seems to fire them up.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit different because our water's a bit shallower overall.
Yeah.
Do
you think...
I don't really know.
Try not to get too derailed, but that just on that with kingfish, I've experienced them getting completely riled up because there's some getting caught, but I've also experienced the opposite where when they're being cagey and really hard work and nothing you seem to throw at them, whether it's even a live bait or a jig or a popper or a plastic, nothing's getting them going. The more you pepper and the 7 other boats in the small area are doing the same, I feel like it's making it harder and harder, and eventually they just go, nah, it's just not happening at all.
It feels like that.
Yeah.
But in reality, that's what they could just be for whatever reason, whether it's tide, barometer, water temperature,
and they're
whatever.
A classic example of a window that could be tiny for them to actually bite. That's
Yeah.
But
I think the boat traffic thing's definitely a thing. 100%.
So is it the same in freshwater? Must be.
Yeah, it'd have to be. Have to be. I think if you've got traffic and shallow water, it's going to be hard work.
Yeah. And is it, I suppose further to it, is it the noise? Is it the noise is the obvious thing with outboards and jet skis, but even just the barrage of movement and activity.
Even just water clarity. You take any of those species that live or prefer to be on a bank. Those banks with so much boat traffic, there's wake, there's wakes that are constantly hitting the banks. They're stirring up water. Like think of a Murray cod on Lake Eildon. The amount of ski boats and jet skis and just general people using the waterway, which is awesome. It's not great for fishing. Imagine just how much is going on.
You can just picture them backing themselves into a log jam and just go, I'll wait this out.
Yeah, this happens every year.
I'll eat it ready if it swims past, but I'm not moving.
Yep. I'll eat of a night time when it's quiet. And
so that's a great segue into part 2 of what I was going to say. Can we write off, because I am guilty, and living on the coast, I am guilty of going Christmas holiday peak, I'm not even going to bother fishing. Should I flip my train of thought and go, how about I explore the options of an evening? Now, that's not to say it's dead quiet of an evening. There's still boats and there's still people kicking around and whatever else. But what if, and I'm going to throw out King George whiting, decide to chew their faces off in the shallows of an evening because they've been bunkering down, keeping it together with all the jet skis cruising past at the top of their heads all day. I think flatties, for that matter.
I wonder how long it takes them to reset. Like how far into the night, solely because, the evenings, especially the summer we're having at the moment, it's been a glorious summer.
Yeah.
And it's warm all the way through the night. You could get to 8:30, 9 o'clock. There's still a glimpse of light at 20 past 9, 9:30 p.m. But it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So there would be people making the most of that water until it gets dark, maybe not so much boat traffic, but people mucking around in the water and still doing that sort of thing. I wonder how long it takes them. I don't think it's that long.
Because there's another part, right? So, because the other element of like the traffic during the day, if you think about things like flathead that are kind of a predatory fish, mate, there's the schools of those little bait fish are nowhere to be seen. They're getting washed around all over the joint. They're not cruising around like they would do in open water or shallow water where they're not getting... Because, mate, a little bit of wake just blows a whole school of bait fish away. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know where they're buggering off to or what they're trying to keep their shit together, but a flatty would be having trouble having a feed, I would have thought. Now, I've done a couple of walks recently in the evening or, very late afternoon and that twilight time you talk about. Mate, there's bait spraying everywhere. When there's nothing on the water, as far as boats and whatever else, there's bait everywhere.
So is the bait just celebrating being
So
free?
that's how I picture it. They're like, yes, woo! Jumping out of the water, having a fat old time because they're like, finally, those fucking jet skis have buggered off. Me mate got sucked up into a bloody outboard motor today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lost three mates been minced this afternoon.
Yeah, I know. and then, I mean, we know how these fish operate. Then Flatty's sitting there going, hello, dinner time.
That's right. Yeah, game on here.
I don't know. That's the way I'm thinking. I take it into weird places, and I know you do too, so you can appreciate it. And I think that we've got plenty of listeners right now going, yeah, I thought a similar thing, which is what it's all about. So,
but you did mention when you were first asking the question about how long it takes them to turn back on.
yeah.
I think it's almost you give them enough that like quiet enough. I think it's almost instant. I don't think
agree.
I don't think you need to wait. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days for these. I think as soon as it's quiet, as long as it's being quiet enough for the fish to know they're not coming. So give it, I don't know, if you had to put a time on it, give it an hour after dark when all the boats are gone. I think those fish are already feeding harder and they've let their guard down a little bit, and it's only going to get better the longer there's no traffic.
I agree. Tell us if you agree or disagree or what your experiences are if you've had a crack at fishing once the traffic quietens down. Because I always think too, like, and I don't want to get scientific about it. I don't have my lab coat on, but lateral line on a fish, right? It must be pinging hard during the day, dude. Like
That's such a great... Imagine, I wonder
imagine
if it's
the
just
migraine these fish would be suffering every day, just having that thing just on, like it's like a radar that's just overloaded, and it's just.
Do you reckon their skin would be itchy? It's there's so much going on. Like, just get me out of this. It'd be so irritating.
Because that makes me feel like why they might bugger off for a short period. It's just like, fucking get me out of here. Or like we've said, they just get themselves down deep and find a bit of weed to hide in, and then. But again, on the flip side, when it quietens off, it's like,
I can move. Yeah,
like when your kids go to school,
yeah,
you come back inside, you walk in the door, and you go,
how nice
peaceful.
is this?
This is nice. I'm gonna fucking eat. That's what I'm gonna do.
Do whatever I want.
I'm gonna eat
nude. What?
I'm gonna put on a movie. I'm gonna just sit on the couch. Get a few beers. It's 10 a.m. What?
Yes.
I've just dropped the kids off at school. What?
Exactly. I was sober up by 3:30.
Fine for pickup. Don't even get me started on. Yeah. I don't know. Like, because there's that element of it too. Like, I just think, again, this, certain parts of the bay here, and I know, some of the lakes, rivers, and bays up on the New South Wales coast, all the way up, just get. Influx of tourism, which is fantastic. It's what it's all about, enjoying the waterways, but it's shallow water. There's a whiting or a brim up there, just, its lateral line is about to peel off. And it's just like, it must be intense.
I'd love to know what they're actually feeling in that situation.
Do we get a scientist on? Is there a scientist listening? If not, pretend you are. Just pretend you are and tell us what you think.
I don't think the conversation's intelligent enough.
You don't reckon we're reaching that demographic?
No, probably not.
Okay. Oh well. But anyway, it's a thinker, mate, and I thought you would have some thoughts on it too, which you do. So I appreciate that. But I think, I'd love to open this up to to you guys listening, I don't know, what's the question we're asking, Ads? Is it what happens during peak busy times on the water to our fish? That's very wordy. I'll come up with it later. But do you know what I mean? Like, I'd like to know what everyone's thoughts are on this, because it's kind of one of those ones that we don't actually know what's going on.
No, and we'll never know.
No, and to your point, you'll get a fish. You'll catch a fish. Like, don't get me. We're not saying that there's obviously plenty of fish to be caught, which is great, but it is a small percentage of the normal capture rate, if that makes sense, to what some of these areas would normally produce.
I think it does make a big difference, though. I can't see how it couldn't.
No. I mean, I love that they turn it around quickly and just start. Quick. Maybe they just haven't eaten for 3 weeks.
They're just laughing.
Banging. So, anyway. All right, good. Well, thank you for your input on that. I appreciate that. I did get a text through from management just before, so definitely knows we're in the studio. Just wanted to know if I could please run the new ad. So,
new ad?
Yeah. So we're not getting much.
Is it going to be half done, like the fit out of the studio, or?
Okay, that's, shots fired. So let's go to the new Spono.
Are you sensitive and precious about your fishing locations? You don't like to share your spots with anyone? kgwankers.com is for you. With the latest photo editing software, you can now hide your background wherever you've been. Enjoy some of our built-in presets, like the famous lightning bolts, the blurred background, and the dodgy Sharpie marker that looks really, really good. But don't just take my word for it. Hear from a few KG wankers themselves. Yeah, I don't like to give away all my brim spots, so I go to kgwankers.com and I get the lightning bolt effect. When I go kingfishing, I know that my spots will be safe when I go to kgwankers.com and use the black Sharpie effect. Well, there you have it. So if you're a KG wanker, head over to kgwankers.com and grab yourself the latest and greatest in background editing software.
kgwankers.com is not a real website, not a real business, but no one likes a KG wanker.
Well, there you go. KG wankers, plenty
KG
of them.
Wankers. Hey, it's they've got a home base now. It's solid.
I think, there's always a need for, some of the new apps that are coming out these days, ads to make, put everything at your fingertips. So you don't have to worry about giving away spots now, apparently. So KG wankers, interesting. Okay.
Get amongst it. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I'm assuming they're paying decent money. Hopefully.
We're rolling solid sponos.
Mate, the spono, they're not lasting long though, ads.
No, on and off. That's okay. Churning them out.
Oh, dear. Anyway.
Oh, it's gold. That is gold. Now, I've been all up in my own head this week.
Do you know, can I just stop you there and just say, I love it when you start a conversation like this.
I've gone down a rabbit hole of thought. I've gone down a rabbit hole of thought, and it's making me second guess everything I've ever done in fishing. And
so
I need you to set me straight. And it all started with a simple YouTube video. So
right.
I watched the Morgan brothers, Tim and Steve Morgan, sit down on Tackle Fridays and give us the lowdown on what went on technique-wise with this new technique that's come about for Barra that happened with Jacob Wheeler and Carl Jochimson coming out from the States and cleaning up at the Barra tournament. Anyway.
Pretty incredible.
Long story short, there's a new technique. Go and watch the video. It's crazy how in this day and age where everything's happening.
Yeah, we'll pop it up on the socials. Have a look.
Yeah, it'll be awesome because in this day and age where everybody knows everything about everything, we had a couple of Americans come over that are huge on one of them's Australian, but they come over here on the bass scene. From the bass scene in the States. They come over here on Barra and just start cleaning up on fish. You think we would have worked it out by now, but here we are. But it's not actually what's got me all frazzled.
Right.
They were talking about leader.
Leader, okay.
Now, typically speaking, I'm a guy that when I go fishing, I use fluorocarbon only and I use way too much of it. I am... that join knot is back on the reel and it's not even fucking close. But this one was... with Jacob Wheeler specifically, he was running a leader that looked on the video like no more than 30 centimetres and didn't retie until there was not even... The only reason he couldn't retie it is because there wasn't enough leader left on.
Wow.
So my question is, how important is length of leader?
How have we not asked this question on the deep drop before? It is an absolutely fascinating one that I don't reckon I've really thought deeply about until now.
Because you'd think Barra, and we're talking impoundment Barra, they have the reputation of being as cagey as anything that you want to target. They can lockjaw for no reason. They can just be all round a pain in the ass. From what I understand, I've never fished for them. But when we get brought up and taught about leaders, and if you're fishing braid, run a leader on everything, and there's the classic when it first started, a rod length of leader is perfect. And then you go and look at other things. And I remember there was some talk around a little while ago during the vibe craze for brim that they were running 3 or 4, 5 meters, 3 full wraps back onto the reel and this and that.
Wow.
I typically run long leaders. I'll be running easy 2 rod lengths.
2 rod lengths?
Yeah. I'll give it a full arm's length. And
yeah.
I'm a tall dude, so a full arm's length to me is almost a bloody 7-foot rod.
Yeah.
And then I'll give it another half.
Okay. Wow.
Am I doing it wrong?
Well, I don't. I'm certainly in no position to tell you whether you're doing it wrong. I have always done what has just been. Yeah, I think I've just learnt when I was probably a little kid, rod length, and you know what? I still do that. I still do it. So I don't. Is there a right or wrong?
Well, I don't know, because it's not been a little bit of a fishing funk.
Right. Okay. So you're looking for things to change up because it's not working for you at the moment.
I'm looking for a 1%er.
You're looking for a 1%er. You are too. That's
Is
exactly
leader
what
is
you're
leader
doing.
length one of them?
It could be. It could be.
Because
okay. All right. Well, let's try and break this down a little bit. Because there are certain situations where obviously leader's always important. The strength of your leader, the material of your leader, the weight of your leader. Obviously we often talk about fishing as light as we can to a degree. The length isn't normally brought into the equation. However, what if pick some scenarios and then say what if we had a 30 centimeter leader? Could you do that fishing for pelagics?
Well, there was a reason given for the impoundment barra in the video, which made perfect sense, which leads me to another question, but we'll save that for another podcast.
That's what it's about. So,
Yeah,
so there was an explanation.
There was an explanation, and it was all about drag. This specific technique required in this case, a soft plastic to be placed on a fish's face. The room for error wasn't great, and you're also fishing for fish based around a thermocline. So it was about cutting down on drag to keep the jig head as light as possible, which we'll talk about on another podcast, because that's another one that's led me down a rabbit hole thinking I'm doing everything wrong.
Yeah, I know.
But that was based around keeping drag out of the water. Now they're dealing with depth. I generally fish shallow. I just run a shitload of fluorocarbon so that if I snag up, I've got every hope of pinging it back and not having to retie a leader. Yeah. But am I fishing it? Am I light jig heads maybe not sinking? They're not, rather than sinking vertical, they're coming back towards the kayak because I'm creating drag with so much leader. I typically use fluorocarbon for the barra. They're using straight mono. It's got me fucked, Luke. I don't know what is going on, and it's got me contemplating life right now.
The interesting. Does anyone? And this again, this is opening up a can of worms, which I think you might be able to answer over the next couple of weeks. But I just want to throw it out there. Mono as a leader. Is anyone just using straight mono for these barra?
Oh, as in
impoundment barra.
As in no break, just mono straight through?
Just mono straight through?
I don't think so, because typically I find barra fishermen enjoy fishing. So catching barra on a rubber band is not fun.
All right. Dave, just putting it out there.
I could be wrong.
I also, and this is just going back to the leader length situation. This is such a great question. Thank you for bringing it up, Adam. And I can't wait to put this out there to the good people of the Deep Drop family that will no doubt get involved and give us their thoughts. I also, and this is just, you'll do this too. There are times where it might be, you're fishing snaggy country or whatever, and I'll give an extra bit of length because I know I'm probably going to bust off a few times, and I don't want to bust off to the point where I'm like, Jesus, that's getting short. I'm probably going to have to tie a new leader.
That's me always. It's snag protection. It's got nothing more. But
it's not snag protection. It's sanity protection.
The drive to not retie a leader is really strong.
Yeah,
but
it's really strong.
So, funnily enough, the last time I went fishing, I think it's been established pretty clearly on this pod that I'll get the shits on pretty quick when stuff doesn't go my way. But it's okay. I'm happy to admit it.
And we're okay with it. You're okay with it. We're okay with it. Yep.
So the last time I went, I was getting hampered a little bit by guide wrapping, tip wrapping.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's guide wrapping and tip wrapping isn't far behind a win knot, honestly.
I honestly wonder how many rods have been taken into tackle shops for warranties.
Yeah.
Because there's been a tip wrap or a guide wrap and said angler has just broken it.
Oh, just in frustration?
Yeah, just had enough.
Just had enough.
Yeah. So,
yeah, there should be a warranty section for that. It's like warranty, accidental breakage, or the rod has a weak point and failed you, or angler frustration.
It's a no-brainer. You get another one. But I found out through sheer frustration, I did pop a couple of litres and have to cut back a few times, and I could not be bothered changing. So I fished short leader.
Yeah, and how did that go?
Half a rod length. So not even really short. It was about half a rod length.
Yeah.
No more tip wraps or guide wraps.
Wow. Okay, that's actually an interesting point.
So I think the line coming off the reel and hitting the join knot is not great. I think it fucks around with you more than what we thought, because I'll do all the right things as far as I can tie an FG knot. It's nice and slim. It doesn't thump through guides, but obviously it's enough to hit a guide and want to flip over or, just change something. I don't know. But as soon as I shortened it, I wasn't having those problems.
Well, it's crazy the componentry now in a reel, right? So we're seeing the technology. I mentioned Shimano before with the reel. What do they call it? I should know this. I was just talking about it the other day. There's like a fin on basically where the line comes.
Yes.
Just under the bail roller.
Yeah.
And just helps lessen the loopage as it's flying through the guides. Yep. It's basically keeping it in a. So maybe your knots are just completely
just fucking up
ruining
the system.
that system. But that's an interesting point. All right, so why don't you set the challenge then for sort of, I mean, you could do it for the rest of the year if you wanted, that you fish shorter leader.
I think I'm gonna.
Shorter leader.
I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna go
half a rod length.
Yeah, I'm gonna go less than a rod length is my aim.
Yep.
I think it's gonna make a pretty big difference. My initial thought of it anyway.
So will you start with, the idea will be that you'll start with the knot not on the spool.
Not on the
basically.
spool. Yeah, that's going to be the whole goal, not on the spool, and I'd like to keep it significantly away from the stripper guide because I find that's where I get the problems.
That's the issue, you reckon, the stripper guide.
I'm catching,
so halfway up.
I'm catching on the stripper guide.
You want the knot roughly ballpark,
yeah, so
halfway up
half
the
rod
rod.
length.
Okay.
I'm going to see if it makes a difference.
I mean, you're going to be the only person to answer your question, I think, in this situation. But I love it. It's a great one. So the question is, are we asking what the optimum length for a leader
that's
is?
That's perfect. Optimum leader length.
Okay.
Question mark.
And tell again, unless I've misread something somewhere along the line, I don't think there is a golden rule.
No.
I think, but I'm curious to hear everyone's opinions and thoughts on it because I think there will be many different ones, which is great.
Yeah.
And that's what we encourage. So let us know, what is the optimum leader length? and why.
And why.
And what you fish for. So give it some context if you could.
I just
Might be asking too
I'm
much.
gonna have to cut you off here for a sec because I'm gonna have to address what's happening right now because
Yeah.
it's doing my fucking head in.
Okay.
If anyone
what's
wants a
going on?
free dog, email us at the Deep Drop. She has not shut up. This is.
Why don't you go and bring her into the studio, Ads? Go on.
Are you sure?
Oh, mate, no, I don't.
Don't.
I don't know. Should I be worried?
Not worth it.
Okay.
I'll be picking up.
There's some.
I'll be picking up
There's some-
cameras and
okay.
laptops and.
Right.
She's never barked this long. It's doing my head in.
Do you want to go and have a word? Go and have a word.
I'll have a word.
Go and have a
I'll
word.
have a word.
Have a general.
All right, hang on.
yeah,
Just
okay.
bear with me
I'll
for
play
just-
some. I'll play some
Elevator music.
Elevator music.
hang
Okay, cool. For some
fuck
elevator
up!
music. Just enjoying some tunes here, Adam. Don't mind us.
That's not the playlist.
This is the theme music created for my old podcast, Humans in 30ish, by an incredible musician called Nick Anderson. Not the Nick Anderson that played for the Orlando Magic.
Not to be confused with.
Not to be confused with. So, anyway, you didn't get it done by the sounds
Oh,
of things.
my
Although,
God.
can we? Yeah, no, that's okay. I mean, I'm, that's okay. We can work through these sorts of situations. It's time for a top six.
Oh, it is.
Do you know? I think because this is becoming really regular, should we get a tune? Should we get a jingle happening for our top six?
Oh, that'd be
Do you want to?
cool.
Okay, all right. Let's work on that. But that'll happen in the background. But Ads, what are we doing? What are we looking at this week?
So at the time of recording this very podcast, Luke, we are a day removed from Australia Day. So if there's one thing I think about when Australia Day comes around every year and you start to see a bit of promo behind it, straight away I think barbecue.
Oh yeah,
It's the right thing to do. It's just what happens in my mind as soon as I think Australia Day. It's like get the barbecue fired up.
love that.
So for the top six, let's go 1 for 1, 3 each. Top 6 meats that get thrown on the barbecue on Australia Day.
Let's do it. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Do you want to kick off? You kick off. This is
Yeah,
your...
I'll kick it off.
Yeah.
I'll kick it off. And so, number 1, the humble snag.
Yeah.
Not a controversial one. It's pretty straightforward, but you cannot physically have a barbecue in Australia without a snag.
I couldn't agree more. Can I just ask you quickly before we move on from number 1 about your combination, your add-ons?
Yeah, add-ons, very simple and
Yeah.
very clear with the add-ons. It's just a slice of bread. So white bread, butter. Okay,
Butter.
it's got to be buttered. No dry bread here, please, people.
Okay.
Buttered white bread, snag, onions.
Yeah.
Listen, not everyone's an onion person. So I'm not offended if they're not there. Must have tomato sauce.
Must have tomato sauce.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it's got to be prepared.
Mustard? I'm just
Not-
thinking of a
not- not
Bunnings
offended.
sausage sizzle. You know what I mean? There's options
Not
there.
offended by it, but I'm a tomato sauce guy.
Yeah,
If
same.
I
Me
want
too.
to, if I want to switch it up, I might put some barbecue sauce on.
Barbecue sauce. Okay.
But,
All right, good.
but tomato sauce first up every single time.
I feel like we have to just do the no-brainers straight off the bat, and you've gone with snagged bread. I
Yep.
mean, it's that and then daylight. Let's be honest. But we're doing a top 6. So number 2 is just your humble beef burger,
Nice.
and again, it's probably more about the add-ons that make up what becomes the final product. But you're not often, missing out on chucking a couple of burgers on the barbie, are you?
It's happening.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you a cheese on top on the barbecue to get some melt?
I think so. Yeah,
I'm glad
I
you said that.
Yeah, I think it's not hard to do that, and it just adds a little bit of, adds a little bit of feeling to it, doesn't it? It
Yeah.
just makes you show that you've tried, even though you haven't tried that hard, because it's not that hard to cook a burger on a barbie. So we've gone pretty conservative. We snag and a burger, away we go. Over to you.
Number 3, chicken wings.
Ooh.
I am a massive chicken wing fan.
Yeah.
I don't care what rub or sauce you want to put on them. But I must state clearly, I love the little bit of char you get on the chicken wing off the barbecue.
Yes.
I love chicken wings.
That adds that bit of char that you talk about. It's
the one. It has to happen. Chicken wings aren't the same if they don't have a little bit of char.
Fair enough. So you're talking dirty right now.
I'm pretty excited. I love me some chicken wings.
I love a bit of char. All right. Number 4, keeping on theme, I've gone a chicken skewer.
Ooh,
I
yeah,
love
nice.
a chicken skewer. And
Specific flavour?
no, but no. See, it gets similar to the wings. You can do whatever sort of rub or marinade or whatever you want. But I'm a big fan and partial to making sure there's some vegetables on there, some capsicum, some onion, some zucchini.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
I'm glad. I'm glad you brought this up because it was actually going to be my next pick. So you've done well here. Are you talking a big chunky bastard where you get just slab of chicken, a nice big bit of capsicum, and then you might have a bit of slab of onion on
I'm
there?
not talking about
then...
these thin fucking produced shit. No. I'm talking
You've
about
nailed it.
The OG. You're putting it together yourself, piece by piece. You're mapping that bad boy out as you're making it, making sure you're uniformed.
Yep.
You know, you've got a bit of symmetry going on, if that's your thing.
Yes.
And you've got plenty of flavour in there, and that's where for me. You can still do some marinade or rub or whatever, but there's flavour in those veggies too,
I love that.
So
that's a great pick.
Thanks.
Great
I'm glad you're on board with that one.
Oh, no,
because
I'm
we went
very much on board on that.
so I was kind of, I didn't want to over chicken it.
Okay, well, it leads me to the next one. Number 5, chicken sausage.
Oh, chicken sausage.
So listen,
we've tripled up on chicken.
We have, and listen, it might be a controversial pick.
Maybe.
But this one didn't really grab me until just recently. So when I'm at home, peek behind the curtain, I tend to, when I cook at home, I try to avoid any form of dishes like the plague.
Right.
So I'll cook on the barbecue every night.
Right.
So I thought I'd change it up a few weeks back with the kids and did a couple of chicken snags. Kids fucking hated them. I thought it was one of the greatest things I've had in a long time. I don't know if maybe it was because of the change-up. Listen, had it exactly the same as the snag presentation we rolled out with number 1. Buttered white bread. I went without sauce the first time because it had a long time since I had a chicken snag. Glorious.
Okay.
Even with a bit of sauce, nice.
Is it fair to say the chicken snag needs less sort of, co-stars, if you will? It could run solo if it wanted to.
Yeah, because it's got the herbs in it and it's packed full of other sort of goodness. So, chicken snag. It was for that. Actually, go with number 6, and then I'll tell you what that last one, that flip of a coin was. And I went with chicken snag because I just wanted to throw something out there that was a little bit different.
Hey, back yourself. That's what we're all about here on the
I'm
Deep
happy
Drop.
with the pick.
Okay, number 6, prawns.
You went there. I was wondering, and I've got a question for you. Who the fuck puts prawns on a barbecue?
Who? Prawns on the barbecue.
I don't think I've ever put a prawn on the barbecue. I've had barbecued prawns. Don't get me wrong. Fucking delicious. I've never done it.
Yeah. Do it. Do yourself a favour.
You marinate them?
You're welcome. Again, you can. We have done. Don't always. You know what I mean? A bit of a garlic sort of an arrangement.
Like that.
You can get as creative or keep it as simple as you like. And that is just the joy of barbecuing.
Yeah, you nailed it. Okay.
I feel good about those 6, but I do have some, I suppose.
There's a glaring omission.
Okay, well, yeah, hit us with it. Because I was going to say, I've got some hats off to a few others that didn't quite make the cut. So, but kick us off.
Well, there's a glaring omission. The first one's a lamb chop.
Yeah, okay.
Not the fancy pants ones with just the stem and a little bit of meat. I'm like the barbecue chops, where there's
the big chops,
half the fucking lamb on it still.
What
solid on the barbecue.
Well, the biggest omission I think from that list is probably just a beef steak. And it could be a T-bone, it could be a ribeye, it could, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. beautifully done on a barbecue, 100%. Are you busting it out for a big celebration, Australia Day, few people around? Listen, maybe not, but maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I do think
you're
there's
right though. You're right.
I feel like it's missing. That's okay. That's what this 6 is about. We can only name the top 6. The other one for me, and it's not a meat, so it probably shouldn't have made the cut, but mate, I'm a big fan of chucking a corn on the cob
Oh yeah.
on the barbie. In husk.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, in husk.
In husk. Yep.
Okay.
Keeping those juices in. Keeping the juices in. You can
Yep.
slip a bit of butter inside the husk, and it really just absorbs it and keeps those juices in. And when you chew it, when you chomp into one of those bad boys, if there's not juices flying across the room, you've done it wrong.
Yeah, I'm generally no husk, but I will
That's okay.
lather that fucker in butter like the whole time. Because you're right, moisture is the key
It
if you're
is
going to
the
throw
key.
a corn on the cob on the barbecue.
Yeah. I just think that, it was a great top 6 for tonight because there was it would have been so many Barbies getting fired up over the weekend.
How do you feel about a rissole on the barbecue?
Yeah. Yep. I'm okay. I love a rissole. Is it in my top 6? No.
Nah. It's got to have, because I think you got to load too
Having
much
said
stuff
that,
with
though,
it.
I wouldn't have had chicken sausages in my top 6. So I'm glad you brought that up because I'm going to have a red. And I've had them, but I'm going to really pay some more attention to them now.
Refresh the palate. I think you will be very surprised at just how enjoyable a chicken sausage is.
Does anyone do a jacket potato on the barbie, or is that more of a Weber fire type thing?
Yeah, maybe. I love a good jacket potato.
Love a good jacket potato. Yeah, Jesus, I'm getting hungry. All right. Well, as always, let us know. What did we miss? What how are your feelings
Are you
about
okay
our
with the top
6?
six?
Are you okay with our top 6? Does it need to be reshuffled, the order? As always, no particular order the way we
No
present
particular
them.
order. Just spitballing.
Having said that, snag's number 1 in every situation.
If anyone out there has had a barbecue recently that didn't involve cooking snags,
Why
probably
we-
need to rethink how you go about it.
And if it was a gathering, why were you there?
Well, you're letting people down.
Don't even go.
No, you're letting people down.
Oh, it angers me, actually. All right, good. All right, well, I mean, there's plenty there to take away if you're into barbecues. We've got, I mean, should we do a deep drop barbecue at some point during the year? Then we invite listeners to.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and we can put all these 6 and more. We could put the corn on the cob on there. I wouldn't be upset with that.
Oh, that'd be.
Is there a barbecue place? Like, in America, there's barbecue places that you go and you get barbecued food. And I know that sounds really dumb because there's barbecued food available in a lot of restaurants, but just somewhere where you can go in and just go, yeah, this is barbecue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but not what you're thinking, though.
No.
I've been to a few, like, American style,
but
slow cook smokehouse type thing. That's not what we're talking about.
That's not what we're talking about.
No.
And that
But
is
having said that, if you walk into a restaurant and it was just a series of barbecues all going off, you'd think, what am I fucking paying for?
Or would you think this is fucking great?
Heaven.
Hey, that's an opening if someone wants to open a business. The hospitality industry's tough. You need to be original. You need to have good food, something that appeals to the masses. What
Imagine
appeals to the
that.
masses? What appeals to the masses the most?
Imagine going for a sit-down meal at a restaurant, ordering a sausage, 2 wings, a chicken sausage, and a corn on the cob.
I'm in.
Sounds
Sign me
actually
up.
pretty awesome.
And there'd be beer. There'd be heaps of beer.
Heaps of beer. Yeah.
Heaps of beer. Fuck, that's not a bad. The Deep Drop could open a restaurant at some point. I'm not going to work there. All right. That's good. All right. So there's a bit there. Obviously, we've got a bit of chatter around the Christmas traffic on the water, the summer holiday traffic, and what it does to the bite or the fish themselves. A great question in what is the optimum length of leader?
Yep.
From your good self. I think that's a ripper. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts on that one. Don't forget to head over to kgwankers.com and check out that if it's
Check out the backgrounds.
if you're that way inclined. And of course, let us know about our top 6. Did we nail it? Did we miss something? Tell us your thoughts and let us know how you went over this long weekend just gone, and what was on your
What was on the barbecue?
what was on the hot plate or the
Love
grill?
it.
Love it. All right, well that's us. Socials, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, website, thedeepdrop.au, Spotify is where you can find us and share us with all your friends. Please do it. Thank you very much. Adam, you have a bloody good one.
Peace.